Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables and welcome to another author ranking video. I've done a lot of these on many different authors. I will link them down below. Some I've done before, like today, where I'm going to update them because they've written a lot more books. Today we're talking about Riley Sager. He's one of my favorite thriller authors. I have read every single book he has written. He's written 9 books now. I think when I did this video like 4 years ago, it was only like 5 maybe. So I've got quite a few books to work with here. So his latest release just came out. I've already read it and finished it. So I thought I would share with you my ranking of them. So what I do for these rankings is I'm going to tell you my least favorite Riley Sager book working up to my favorite. Spoiler warning, I've only given one Riley Sager book a 5 out of 5. The rest, I would say he pretty much falls in like the 3 to 4 star for me. Like there's only been one book that I've been obsessed with by him. But otherwise, I would say usually his books I expect to be anywhere like 3 to maybe 4, 4.5 stars. And this is going to show you, this video, how different my opinions are on rankings with his books and also how different I feel about all of his books. Now, he is one of my favorite thriller authors. Does that mean I've liked every single book he's written? No, but I will continue to read them because most of the time I still really enjoy them and have a good time with them. There are some authors I have just given up on because I have read multitudes of their books and given them like 2, so I'm like, it's clearly, you know, not for me. But if I give a book like a 3 or a 4, like I'm gonna continue to read that author, and that is one for me. So without further ado, let's get into my ranking of all of the Riley Sager books. Number 9, my least favorite book is some people's favorite, so it's just its own personal preference, okay? If I have your favorite as my least and my favorite is your least, it's okay. Everyone has different opinions. That is what makes this world go round. My number 9, my least favorite Riley Sager book is The House Across the Lake. This was a couple years ago released and I did not enjoy it. I don't even own it anymore, okay? This is what I remember about it. It's about a woman that lives, you guessed it, in a house on a lake, and she lives alone. Her husband has passed away, so she's got a lot of sadness. I believe she's also an actress, or was an actress if I'm not mistaken, and basically she makes friends with the neighbors across the lake, and she gets really friendly with the wife, and then she notices things, and it also has a tinge of paranormalcy to it as well, and I just did not like it. I did not. I wanted to love it so much because when I think of Riley Sager, I think of like summer thrillers. A lot of his books, despite a couple, are usually very summery, if you will, and this one just was not it for me. I did not like the big plot. I did not like the big plot twist. I didn't like the character at all. I didn't like the whole, I just didn't like it overall. So sadly, I think this one, I gave this one like a 2. I just didn't love it. But some people love this book, give it a 5 out of 5. So to each their own is all I have to say. Like, I'm not gonna like scold you for liking a book that I didn't like. It's totally okay. Then I have his release from last year coming in number 8, Middle of the Night. This kind of marks his differing, like he's very much known for writing from female perspectives, and most of the time that's done good. This is the first book from a man's perspective. I did not, this was just boring, honestly. That's what it chalks down to. It was boring. Not a lot happened. I barely remember what it's about. It's about this guy named Ethan. Okay, I remember now. Ethan, basically when he was 10 years old, he was in the backyard having a camp out with his best friend. And the next morning when he wakes up, there's like a slash in the tent and his friend has gone missing and nobody has ever found him. Flash forward to many, many years later, his parents are moving out and kind of selling the house. So he comes to try to take care of loose ends. And then he starts thinking about, I forget the kid's name, Billy. You know, what happened to Billy? Like, this book went 50 different directions and it didn't handle any of them well. It was almost having a Stranger Things type of vibe, which I did really like because there was like this laboratory, you know, like kind of like Hawkins. And then it also had another, he's kind of known for having some kind of paranormal, but you don't really know if it's paranormal or not, twist in his books. And it was just, I think the bottom line, it was just boring. I didn't enjoy it. Nothing really happened. I wasn't really like shocked or amazed by the big plot twist at the end. It was just kind of, that's how I would describe it. And coming in at number 7 is his latest release, With a Vengeance. This kind of shows the past 3 books that he's written that I haven't really enjoyed, so we're just gonna have to see how it's going. But this is the most different of all of Riley Sager books. Most of his books are from one perspective. You get their perspective. Most of them are female, and that's kind of it. This is different on all levels. So this book is set in the 50s, which none of his books really are set, and different other than like the 80s or, you know, So this book is set in the 50s, and we follow a multitude of people, but at the core of it, we follow Anna, who it's the year, we follow Anna. In 1942, Anna's whole family was destroyed by 6 people, pretty much. Her dad owned this like train, her dad owned this train company, and 6 people kind of conspired against them, and then she didn't have a family. Now 12 years later, it's like 1956, or I can't do math, whatever, it's 1950 something. She gets all the 6 people there, and she puts them on a train, and it's empty with just them, and she is ready for some vengeance. So this is very much a locked door mystery. All of his other books are very thrilling. I would classify as thrillers. This one I would classify strictly as mystery. It is very much Agatha Christie. It's got one setting, one location. You follow a multitude of people. You're trying to figure out it's a whodunit, okay? And I did like that, but I don't love mysteries that much. I'm more of a thriller fan, so I think that's why I didn't love it as much. And you know, the whole reveal I thought was interesting. It wasn't like overly amazing. I like the train setting and how it was the 50s, but it just was very different than his usual books. And that's not to say anything bad about it. They have, you know, different albums, stuff like that. So do authors, okay? But I just didn't love it. So that's why it's at number, whatever number this is, 7. And number 6 is Survive the Night. I forgot what year this came out. Let's see, shall we? I should have probably noted that. This one came out in 2021. So this one takes place in the 90s, and this is set from a girl's point of view. And so it takes place in November 1991. So we follow a character named Charlie who is in college, and she's trying to get home really fast, but there's like a serial killer on the horizon at her college. And so basically she needs a ride home, so she pins up on like the board like, I need a ride, and some guy's like, oh cool, I can pick you up at 9 p.m. She's like, okay. And I'm like, red flags already, just so many, just throw them all down. And she decides to go on this, and basically this whole book takes place in 24 hours. She's on this car ride, and it says it's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck, George H. Bush is in the White House, and movie-obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer. So you could put 2 and 2 together there. It was interesting. It was fast-paced. It was really kind of unbelievable at times, but I had a good time with it. It's not one of my favorite Riley Sager books, nor is it like one of my least. It was a decent time, I'll say. So it's kind of like in the middle for me for Riley Sager. Moving into number 5. This is probably a lot of people's number 1, but I just didn't love it as much as other people, and that is The Only One Left. This is his like kind of first kind of gothic-y type of thriller, which I did like. I think I'm not that much into gothic thrillers. I'm more into like, I guess, different kinds. I don't know. But this one, what year did this one come out? I want to say it was 2020. No, 2023. Just kidding. Oh, this one came out last year? No, 2 years ago. So this one is, I'm gonna have to explain it. So 1929, there's this house, and basically the Hope family, a lot of them gets murdered, but everybody except for Lenora, and everyone thought she did it. Now it is many years later. I'm gonna say it's 1983, and now Lenora is old. She cannot talk. She needs caretakers, and this whole book follows Kit, who is a kind of home health nurse, like hospice type of nurse. She is kind of out of a job. She needs to find a job, and the only availability is at this house that's kind of on the top of the cliff. Everyone thinks like there's a murderer lives in there. She goes there. It's very gothic-y. Nothing's changed, and she becomes the caretaker for Lenora, and she learns more about the house, more what happened to the Hope sisters. You get the vibe. I thought the plot twist at the end was interesting. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was still interesting. I say this is a great fall one to read because it's kind of gothic-y, set in this manner. You have this woman that you're like, did she kill all her family like 60 years ago? I don't know. You kind of figure it out together. And overall, it's a really decent Riley Sager book now that I think about it. The more I talk about it, I'm like, this was pretty decent. So yeah, it's at number 5. And then the only other Riley Sager book I don't own, I don't know why. I think at the time I didn't love it, but now looking back, I do really enjoy it. It's at number 4, Lock Every Door. So I think the reason why I didn't like it at the time is because the big plot twist in this book literally happened on a TV show I was watching at the same time. They were similar, and I was like, this is not a coincidence. But now, many years later, I can look back and realize, you know, maybe it was a coincidence. I don't know. But either way, please forgive me as I don't have the copy. But basically, it's about this girl who becomes a apartment sitter. You know, people that go out of town, they have to, you know, stay at their apartment. But there are very strict rules with this apartment building, especially this apartment sitting. Like, you can't leave, you can't bring anybody in, you can't do things. Not only that, but the tenants are kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a weird, kooky, creepy kind of place. And so she kind of uncovers the mysteries about all the tenants that live in this apartment, also the owner that owns the apartment that she's sitting in, also the hotel, the apartment building itself. And it is creepy. The end is like one of those plot twist endings that you're just like, what the crap? It is that. It's like one that you'll never imagine, but it's pretty good. That's why it's one of my favorites. If you can tell, a lot of my favorite Riley Sager books are his earlier ones. I don't know. Maybe I'm just losing my love for him, but you know, either way, Lock Every Door is a solid one and one of my favorites. Next up at number 3, I have his first ever novel, Final Girls. A lot of people don't like this one. I loved it. It's one of my, I think the reason is it's one of my first thrillers that I've ever read before, and those always hold a special place from my heart for me because I was under the notion that I was never going to read thrillers. They would scare me and all this other stuff, and now look at I am. Now look at me. I'm just reading thrillers left and right, or at least trying to. So this book follows a character named Quincy, and basically it's all about final girls. Like, you know, the big final girls in all the scary movies. Somehow I can't think of a single final girl, but you know, from the movies. I don't watch a lot of scary movies, okay? Okay. But either way, 10 years ago, Quincy, it's about her. She survived this horrific attack like that happened in the cabin in the woods. She was the only survivor left. So basically, you have other females that are kind of the final girls, and they're known as the final girls. But now something is kind of hunting them down. It says first there were 3, then there were 2. Can there only ever be one final girl? So you get the twist, you get the thing. I think it is pretty obvious. I'm not going to say it's not the best thriller I've ever read. No, but I like the whole premise of the final girl thing. I love getting to it, like Quincy trying to discover, you know, is she going to be she's going to get killed like all the other final girls? It was interesting, okay? I can understand that it's probably not on anyone's list as high as mine. I understand that completely. But I just have a soft spot for it. That is just me. Moving into my top 2. At number 2, I have The Last Time I Lied. This is one of my favorite summer thrillers. And every summer thriller I've ever done, I always recommend this one because it's got a camp setting. And when you think about summer thrillers, you always know about them camp ones. There's always those, okay? Have I ever gone to a camp because of that? No, and I never will. Basically, it's many years ago. They're at Camp Nightingale. She is grouped with like 3 kind of popular girls in a cabin, and they're all like playing a game. Truth and a lie, blah, blah, blah. They all go to bed. Then Emma wakes up and sees all of the 3 girls sneaking out only to never return again. Now we pick up many, many years later. Emma is an adult and an artist, and they shut down Camp Nightingale because they had 3 missing girls, so understood. The owner of Camp Nightingale comes, and she's like, hey, we're going to reopen. You know, we've done a lot of things. We've improved a lot of things, and I think it'd be really great if you would come to, like, show the PR, like, it's good. We're good. We're all good. And she's like, I really don't want to go back, but I really do want to figure out what happened to these 3 girls. I really need to know. So you kind of get alternating timelines between her going back to the camp to discover what's happening, and then also her when she first came to the camp many moons ago. It's a great summer thriller. The ending, chef's kiss. I love it. It's one of my favorite summer thrillers of all time, and I believe this was his 2nd book, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, my favorite is no surprise. I think everybody knows this. It's my favorite thriller, one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and that is Home Before Dark. I love this book so deeply. This is the perfect haunted house Halloween book. I loved it. So this is all about a character named Maggie who, when she was young, her parents lived in this creepy old mansion called like Baneberry Manor or something, and then they only stayed there for 2 weeks, and then what do you know, they're running out in the middle of the night to never return again. The dad claims it's haunted. Her dad even wrote a whole book about it, and it became a bestseller. So it was all about this ghost, and it was all about how haunted it was. But Emma has never really believed it. Now it's many years later. Her dad has sadly passed away, and he surprises her by leaving her in the will the keys to Bayberry Hall. He still has that junk. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to redo the whole thing. She's an interior designer. And I'm also going to see if this place is really haunted or not, because I don't think it is. And then you get to kind of seeing what happens from there. It's paranormal, or is it not? You never really quite know. The ending, amazing. The vibes, the setting, immaculate. If you read any Riley Sager book, I highly recommend you check out this one, especially in the fall. maybe don't read it right now because it's summer. Wait till the fall time near Halloween. This will do you no wrong. So there you have all of my thoughts and rankings on all of the Riley Sager books. I know it's 9 books, so I cannot imagine anyone have the same type of ranking as me, but I would love to know what you would rank them. I'm sure they're going to be vastly different, and that is totally okay because that is how the world goes, my friend. But I would love to know, is my favorite your least favorite? Is my least favorite your favorite? Please let me know down in the comments, and let me know if you want to do, and let me know if you want me to do any other author rating video in the future. I might do an updated Christina Lauren one book, and I might do an updated Christina Lauren one, and I do need to do an Allie Hazel one too. I need to do that one. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.